And the blades would require FIs anyway.
Right. Yeah. So if they purchased it now for we'll say the 75% majority of their workloads, then they would need it for that. So
yeah, so we just need to make sure their DCPSS is looking at stuff that's on the Cisco ATL for the M7s, D series, and yeah, we can move forward.
Yeah. Yep.
So they're going to do a POC on C series, and then
basically saying they're going to purchase their own gear for that purpose. Yes, sir.
Right.
Okay.
And of course, we need as a team to then position a successful implementation of a POC. What does success look like? What defines success? And then once we do succeed, what are the next steps of purchasing the rest of the Nutanix required or needed? So
if the POC doesn't work, they've still purchased?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, at that point, they've still purchased. Yes, correct.
Okay. So, Tom, I don't know if I don't think it's a new logo, is it? Because if they purchase POC and it doesn't work, it doesn't do what it's supposed to, and they don't go any further, I don't know if that counts as a new logo because there won't be any future business.
Well, the question is, are they going to buy the software for the POC?
Yeah.
Is Cisco going to buy the software and the hardware and say,
assumptively, this is a customer purchase. We think that
then we'll get a new logo just on that.
Because
they own it. And if they decide later they don't want to run Nutanix on it, then whatever. They lost the money on the software, right?
I didn't position it as we would give them a not for resale type licensing or anything. I just assumed that they would, as a company, purchase this as we're investing in Nutanix in a small bite-sized footprint just to test out. I called it a POC, but understandably, they're making purchases as I understand it.
Right. When do they want to do this?
I mean, it all depends on, they're having a discussion with Frank this week, early next week, to kind of just make sure that, all the drives and their budget and everything that kind of works out for this. Chris, I heard July, but I think it'd be, I think they're trying to do it sooner than that, but what did you hear?
Yeah, I think that's the rough ballpark for sure.
Yeah.
The sooner the better. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Because there's urgency there.
Cisco's has the same budget or has the same fiscal year as us, and so they're trying to get it in well before their year end. And
how much would this be?
I mean, what do you think it would just be an app like a Singapore site or a LA hub site?
Yeah, it's going to be a 3-node cluster.
Yeah,
I would say.
So if you compare it to like what we did for Sunoco, anywhere from 39 to 49,000 for software.
We would push obviously NCP Ultimate as the software option, and that kind of parallels what one of these Sunoco locations is like. So that's why Aaron said that dollar amount.
Hey,
so for you guys, it's okay to in your sidebar conversation, have a conversation with Cisco. Like, look, I need it to be 35K of ACV for my software for me to get some serious, new logo bonuses. Like, you guys already know we're doing a rev share. If I don't take that down now, like I've watered down my future business. So I need that first purchase to be over that 35K.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I just want y'all to get
I understand.
Get the accelerators. Yeah.
There's a reason I'm jacked up.
Yeah, because they might buy 95 days down the path, and now it's 55 cents on the dollar. There's no more make you whole. Yeah.
Yeah. So, It's a good conversation.
Yeah, and of course we'd love for it to be a bigger purchase, but we definitely have to get that baseline number.
Hey, a wise man said it's a lot easier to fight on the inside than the outside.
10-4, Roger Dodger.
Hopefully you can get it in this fiscal year, so it will count as a new logo towards the target of 2 for the year. right?
Got to get one before you can get two.
Yep.
Exactly.
Being said,
So I'm guessing nothing has changed with the forecast then, Aaron?
I mean, I have next step or whatever. So we had a conversation. We had a meeting today with Joakim and Sean and Wes, just to make sure that pricing everything was in line. What they needed us to do was separate the hardware from the software for the 200 VMs. So I had to create a new op and to do that. And so I moved that around. So that's the only thing that's been changed, but dollar wise, it's all the same thing.
Okay. So you got the call of 201, so we're still short on the quarter plus Q1's number, but your best case is 276. You think you'll get there with the 276? Is that 22 sites or what?
I don't think we'll be at 276. I mean, I mean, as of like we talked about a month ago, you know, about lowering it down to 70, just the kind of time being. I mean, right now we are at 189,000 is what we're at.
Okay.
So that's kind of where we're at until they if they issue more or what's going on now. They have talked about they would like to get now whether this all gets pushed through. I've been talking to procurement, Mike B over there. They'd like to get everything through by the end of this month. So
Okay.
that's the goal. But we're working towards that. We're getting close. So.
I need to add one comment too, Aaron. If they go with the second configuration of Australia that we just worked on, that's more cores for NCI license or NCP ultimate licensing.
Yeah, they'll go up a little bit.
Okay. All right, so all right, let's do, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm leaving the forecast as is. So you know, Mark is basically not allowing forecast to come down. So it's gonna have to be where it is, and hopefully, you know, we'll get the 22 sites and whatever else, but we really need to get the call. That is of utmost importance. All right. So do everything you can. Best case, understand. Good to have it there. Strive for that. Let's see, what do we have this at? In out gap. We have this. Come on, let's go.
Aaron, once Steve finishes, don't forget we need to share about our Hal Conley call.
Yep. Even a very good call too.
Okay, so we got Sunoco closing April 23rd. We have that as commit. So our commit should be there. All right, so we just got to make sure you're, you know, you've already done that. Great. Let's see what else. All right, I'm good with that. You have in commit, good. Let's look at that. Here's where I get concerned because you guys have zeros. Okay, zeros right across the board. Except in open funnel, you have 579. We got to put something in there. And it's got to be real. And I know I say that, but it needs to be real because A, it's not good to have zeros because everyone else has got a forecast. B, during the skip level.
Steve, sorry to interrupt. Are you sharing something? Zeros for what? What are we talking about?
You should be sharing. I'm just looking through my own thing, but I'll be happy to share.
Okay. No, I didn't know you just started talking about zeros, so I didn't know what piece of the puzzle.
There you go. I'll share on my own then. See it?
Yep.
Yep.
For the forecast, you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Next quarter. Okay.
Next, yeah, we have to be forecasting next quarter too. Okay. My portfolio. Okay. So we got to fill these in. I get it. This isn't, until there's a primary quote, but there will be, what was it, Tom? Is it, total funnel? Is that where there, if there aren't any quotes, but to show there's activity, this is where Bill, Tori, or Sarah will put that in?
Yeah, so they're working to give them the ability to put data in there because right now, if you don't have a quote, there's no way to get it in. So they're going to give the 3 specialists the ability to add numbers in there so they can see that it's kind of like a pipeline for those products.
Yeah, see, so for us, if you look at NC2, I think it's for Q3, we're showing up as having 0, yet we have boatloads of activity with dollar amounts. And so they're trying to find a way, because this came up in a call with Augustine, and he's like, what's going on with Mid-Atlantic? So not the best time for this to be happening based on the conversation I'm going to have next week with Baines and Augustine. So, but yeah, we're going to we got to get something in there, right? We got to get pipe. And then we got to get forecast. Okay, that we got to do something. Can't have that as 0. I don't know how else to say it, but can't have that. Tom, anything you want to say on top of that?
No, it's just in general, leadership is starting to look forward and go,
Yeah.
well, what's our business? Because we get myopically focused on current quarter, and then all of a sudden we look ahead and go, oh crap, that'll be here before we know it. I mean, think about it, we're 35 days into this quarter already.
Yeah. So they've been looking at 2 quarters for since the beginning of the 3rd quarter, if not a little bit earlier than that. So it is getting managed the same way Q3 is as far as forecasts are called. So they will go through, my Q3, my Q4, and they usually drop down based on opportunities. So they usually look at the top 15. So yeah, I'd work hard to get some opportunities for Q4. If Inmar, if it's Q4, if we can put it in there, that'll be great. So yeah, hopefully when we get more clarity, we can put that in Q4, and plus it's a new logo, so that'll be 2 ticks in the boxes.
Yep. Maybe now's a good time. Chris, do you think we still better call Al, or Steve? What else you have?
Whatever else you have.
So we had a call today with. I had found out that VF Corporation, one of their incumbent vendors was Mainline. When I was talking to one of the actual VF Corp low-end people, so I was able to schedule or find out who that rep is. I was able to schedule a meeting with him. Super nice guy. Chris actually knows him from previous time when he was at Compass. And so it was a great call. The guy is like great friends with the main person over at VF Corporation. Does business with them quite a bit. Same thing with Compass Group. So he's like, I definitely can get you guys meetings with both companies. VF Corporation. He's like, we've already been talking, as I told you in previous calls. We've already been talking about. With Nutanix as an alternative, because they have, I think I mentioned before, they have a data center ran by IBM, or what's the new company called now, Chris? You remember?
Kyndryl.
Yep. They have to be out there by the end of 2026, or I'm sorry, early 2026. So in late 2025. It's a long play. But he's like, we definitely need to start kind of get you guys in meetings and having those conversations with them, because they're in definitely needs for a change, right? So that's good. So here we have a follow up with them in about 2 or 3 weeks to see where that is, and if he gets it obviously earlier, then he'll let us know. And then Compass Group, we kind of talked about. What is our play there? Now that they're at AWS, for quite some time, and he's been having conversations with him for quite some time with Scott Belcher over there. Saying when are you going to start moving stuff back to the on-prem solution, because obviously they've been complaining about cost and other issues and problems and whatnot. Not sure that has resonated, but it's obviously be a conversation, and so he thinks it would be obviously a good conversation for us to at least meet him in that conversation. So
Okay, so question, you've done a lot of work with partners in your patch. Was Mainline one of them that you've been talking to or not? No.
Mainline's a newer one that I've never dealt with before, so never came across it with any of my accounts. And VF Corporation, they use other partners. Doesn't mean they don't.
Yeah.
use it,
You know why they use Mainline? Tells me they probably still have their mainframe, and you can reach out to, let's see, VF Corp uses Mainline. So does Contour, I think.
Yep, that was the end, Tom. So he mentioned Contour, and the guy's name's Hal Connolly. You guys may know him. He's been in the industry forever. So yeah, he mentioned Contour, and I said, hang on one second. So I know he knew that Contour was a customer, blah, blah, blah. And I said, we're trying to get into VF. He said, perfect. Robert McDonald is the guy you need to talk to. He's good buddies of mine. We go out to lunch, blah, blah, blah. They want to do marketing. They want to do lunch and learns, anything that we can to get in there. So it was a nice, pleasant surprise from a friendly name that I know from our past. And he's ready to help Nutanix.
Yep.
Great. So for VF, you're saying that would be a 2026?
That would be a late 2025 or early or January 2026. They have to be out by January 2026. So I would assume it would be a late 2025.
Okay.
It would take VF at least a year to migrate. Just put that in your head.
And Aaron, what was the opportunity again?
That's the conversation we're going to have. I mean, it's their data center. It's their full data center.
Okay.
So I don't know what the size of that opportunity is at this point.
Okay.
It was a great conversation. And then we also had a conversation with Zintegra today, which we've been pushing, and they had a meeting with Volvo and Renfro last week, which I knew, and that the point of the discussion initially for him was to kind of talk about, Broadcom and what are they doing and so forth. So he's working on getting us meetings now that, with talk about the Nutanix piece, because that's definitely a conversation they want to hopefully explore. So all real good calls today. Really starting to kind of move the needle on some of these accounts. So are you on mute, Steve?
Sorry. No, I was just saying, good stuff. New logo, hopefully Q4. Can't do much with VF Corp right now, but that's always good to hear. Customer wanting to have discussions. It's good with Mainline. I used to work with Mainline years ago when I was at IBM. They were a huge AS400 partner. So I'm interested. Hey, Chris, I'm interested that this guy, the Mainline's talking to Belcher.
Yeah.
So he's talking to a VP direct right away.
He's been calling on Compass for over 20 years. I was trying to think back some of the names that he mentioned. It was my first year there. So he's done main IBM stuff, and then he moved over. I called on him for Linux licensing for satellite servers, and whenever I managed both the Windows and the Linux side of the house. So, good
guy.
dude.
What's his name?
Hal Connolly.
Hal Connolly from Mainline.
Mhm.
Okay,
Really nice guy. Real nice guy.
And I think because of the connections, can get to Belcher and say, hey, look, what happens whenever you need to bring something back?
yeah,
And it's time, because he even said that Compass is paying 8 times more than they should because it's in the cloud.
I wonder if that was Rob that made that decision, or was that other guy?
He said it was Rob.
Really?
Yeah. And I think it was Rob at the first time that Rob was there before he retired, but I don't know for sure. I wondered if there was, and I think that from my conversations, they were planning on going to the cloud. It's just that John Champion, being dick of all dicks, kind of screwed up the approach and said, get on board or find another job.
Yeah,
So that's what the shakeup was. So, but
Okay.
I think that they were going to the cloud, and there was some political stuff too that Hal said, yeah, it was a decision that's got not a black eye, but definitely rocked the boat.
Yeah.
But it was a political decision.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, good stuff. Chris, Tom, do you have anything?
Tom, you're on mute.
Okay, well, let's button up.
I've got to tell Tom something, but whenever he comes back, or I can text him later. Either way.
Yeah, let's just update, next steps for Sunoco.
That they should all be in there though.
Yeah, all right, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, just want to make sure that they're up to date. Things can change in a day.
Yeah.
So, all right, good. Interesting. So main lines with Contour also, is that what you said?
That's why they said it.
The connection's there for sure.
All right, I'll give Abbott a ring. And
Yeah, because he asked, was that our account? And Aaron said Scott Abbott's the guy on
Right.
the account. So
I'll reach out to Abbott. I'm sure he'll reach out to one of you.
yeah.
Yeah, tell them to give me a call. So.
Okay, that's good news. All right, well, yeah, VF, we cracked it. So at least there'll be something more to talk about when we have that customer call.
Yeah.
I'm interested in what they have to say about mainline, the procurement, or how much he knows, or how involved. So this would be a classic discussion with procurement.
Yep.
Okay. And I haven't got anything back from Simon.
Okay.
So we'll keep trying, okay?
Yep. I appreciate it.
All right, guys, good stuff. We'll speak later, okay?
Okay. And then what about did you guys reach out to Rudy yet?
I'll have to ask Tom. He dropped off, but I'll reach out to Tom, okay?
All right.
I'll text him right now.
All right. Thanks,
All right, I'll get back to you as quickly as possible.
All right. Thanks, Steve.
All right, guys, good stuff. We'll speak to you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Steve.